for you, and it's unfolding now. You've walked through fire, stood firm when the world tried to shake you, and now He's ready to reveal what's next. Stay with me, because this message is for you, and it's about to change everything. Your life hasn't been easy. You've carried burdens others couldn't imagine. Maybe it was a loss that left you hollow, a betrayal that cut deep, or a dream that seemed to slip further away with every step. But here's what you need to know. Those weren't just hardships, they were tests. God was watching, not to judge, but to refine you. Every time you chose faith over fear, forgiveness over bitterness, or hope over despair, you passed, you proved you're not like the rest. You're His chosen, marked for a purpose bigger than you can see. And now He's speaking. Think about Joseph, sold into slavery, thrown into prison, forgotten by those he helped. The world saw a broken man, but God saw a leader being forged. Every trial was a step toward his destiny. Your story is no different. The nights you cried alone, the moments you felt invisible, those were the moments God was shaping you. You didn't break, you didn't give in, you stood tall. And now He's ready to lift you higher. His voice is clear, you're ready for what I've prepared. But what does it mean to hear God's plan? It's not just words or a feeling, it's a shift deep in your soul. You'll start to notice signs, doors opening where walls once stood, people entering your life who see your worth, opportunities that seem too perfect to be chance. God's plan isn't a distant promise, it's active, alive, moving through your life right now. You've passed the test of endurance, now comes the test of trust. Will you listen? Will you step forward, knowing He's guiding every move? Your heart might be racing, wondering what's next. That's a good thing. It means you're awake, alive to the truth that God hasn't forgotten you. He's been with you in every valley, every shadow. Psalm 23:4 says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. You've lived that verse. You've walked the valley, and you're still here, stronger, brighter. God's plan is to take that strength and turn it into something the world can't ignore. A light that shines so bright, it draws others to Him. Let's pause for a moment. If this is speaking to you, if you feel that stir in your spirit, hit the like button. It's not just a click, it's a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive what God has for you. And if you're ready to stand with thousands of chosen ones walking this path, subscribe to this channel. Your presence here matters. You're just getting started. Your presence here matters. Now let's keep going, because God's message for you is just getting started. Just getting started. You might be wondering, why you? Why now? Why would God choose you for something extraordinary? The answer is simple. Because you're His. You've carried a spark of His divine purpose since the day you were born. The world tried to dim it, but you guarded it even when you didn't realize it. Every time you chose to keep going, to rise after a fall, you were holding on to that spark. Now, God is fanning it into a flame. His plan is to make you a living testimony of His power. Look at Esther, a young woman who could have stayed silent, stayed safe, but she stepped into a role she never imagined, saving her people because she trusted God's timing. You're standing in your own Esther moment. The test you passed wasn't just about surviving. It was about preparing you to lead, to inspire, to change lives. God's plan isn't small, it's bold, world-shaking, and it starts with you saying yes to His voice, saying yes doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means trusting that God does. You don't need to see the whole path to take the first step. Maybe it's a decision you've been putting off, a dream you've buried, or a forgiveness you've withheld. Whatever it is, God's whispering, now's the time. His plan is already in motion. The resources, the connections, the strength, it's all coming together. Your job is to listen and move. You've already shown you're capable of more than you thought. Remember that moment when you faced the impossible and came through? That wasn't luck. That was God working through you. Deuteronomy 316 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you." You've lived that strength. Now God's asking you to live it again, but bigger. His plan is for you to step into spaces you never thought you'd belong, to claim blessings you never thought you deserve. Sometimes the hardest part of hearing God's plan is letting go of the old. You've passed the test, but the scars remain, doubts, fears, memories of pain. God's saying, let them go. Those scars don't define you. They're proof of your victory. You're not the person you were before the trials. You're stronger, wiser, chosen. His plan requires you to release the weight of the past so you can carry the blessings of the future. Imagine a door in front of you right now. It's not locked, but it's heavy. On the other side is everything God's promised: peace, purpose, abundance. You've already proven you're strong enough to push it open. The test wasn't about breaking you, it was about building you. Every challenge taught you something: patience, resilience, faith. Now God's saying, use what you've learned. Open the door. His plan is waiting. If you're feeling that fire in your chest, that knowing that this is your moment, leave a comment with the number 777. It's a declaration that you're ready to hear God's plan and step into His purpose. Your faith is activating something powerful right now. Keep listening, because there's more to this message and it's about to get deeper. You've passed the test, but the journey doesn't end there. God's plan is a living, breathing thing. It grows with you. It's not a single moment, but a series of steps, each one revealing more of His purpose. You might feel like you're standing still, but you're not. Every prayer, every act of faith, every moment you chose to trust instead of doubt, it's all moving you forward. God's voice is in the quiet moments, the unexpected opportunities, the people who cross your path. Think about Moses leading a nation through the desert. He didn't have a map, just a promise. Every step felt uncertain, but God's voice guided him. You're in your own wilderness, chosen one. But you're not lost. God's speaking through the signs around you. A kind word from a stranger, a sudden clarity in your thoughts, a door that opens when you least expect it. His plan is woven into the fabric of your life, and it's unfolding with every breath you take. You might feel unworthy sometimes. The world can make you question your value, your purpose. But God chose you, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in advance for us to do." You're not an accident. Your life, your struggles, your victories, they're part of a masterpiece God's been painting since before you were born. Passing His test wasn't about proving yourself to Him. He already knew you could do it. It was about showing you what you're capable of. You faced giants, fear, rejection, failure, and you're still standing. Now God's saying, look at what I've built in you. His plan is to take that strength and use it to change the world. Not in a loud, flashy way, but in the quiet, steady way that only His chosen can. You're not alone in this. There's a community of chosen ones out there, walking their own path, hearing God's voice in their own way. If you want to stand with them, subscribe to this channel. It's not just about videos. It's about joining thousands of souls who know they're called for more. Together we're stronger, louder, brighter. God's plan isn't just for you. It's for all of us, shining as one. Sometimes hearing God's plan means facing silence first. You pray, you wait, and nothing seems to happen. But that silence isn't empty. It's God preparing you, aligning things you can see. Think of Elijah standing on the mountain, waiting for God's voice. It wasn't in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire. It was in a gentle whisper. Your breakthrough is coming, but it might not look like you expect. Stay open, listen closely. You've already seen God move in your life. Maybe it was a job that came through when you were desperate. A relationship that healed when you thought it was beyond repair. Or a moment of peace in the middle of chaos. Those weren't accidents. They were glimpses of God's plan. Reminders that He's working even when you can't see it. Now He's asking you to trust Him for the bigger picture. The world will try to distract you. They'll throw noise, doubt, and chaos your way. But you're different. You've passed the test of staying focused, of keeping your eyes on God when everything else screamed for your attention. Now His plan is to guide you through the noise to a place where your purpose shines clear. You're not meant to blend in. You're meant to stand out, a beacon of His light. If this message is hitting home, if you're ready to claim God's plan for your life, drop a 777 in the comments. It's not just a number, it's a sign to the heavens that you're listening, ready to walk in His purpose. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $120, 0 cents. I pay men to get blessing 100 million. Stay with me because God's message for you is about to unfold even more. Your life is a story and God's the author. Every chapter, the pain, the victories, the moments you thought you'd never survive has been leading to this. You're not at the end. You're at a turning point. God's plan is to take everything you've been through and weave it into something beautiful. The trials weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to prepare you for a destiny that's bigger than you can imagine. You might look at your life and see mistakes, regrets, missed opportunities, but God sees something else. He sees a warrior tested and proven. He sees someone who didn't give up even when the odds were against them. Isaiah 55:8 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." His plan isn't limited by what you see as flaws. It's built on His vision for you. A vision of hope, purpose, and glory. Right now, God's speaking to you through the stir in your heart. The ideas that won't leave you alone, the dreams that keep resurfacing no matter how many times you've pushed them down, those aren't random. They're His voice calling you to step into the next part of His plan. You've passed the test of perseverance. Now He's asking you to trust Him with the unknown. You don't need to have it all figured out. God's plan doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to be willing. Think of Peter, a fisherman with no credentials, chosen to lead a movement that changed the world. His doubts, his failures, they didn't disqualify him. They shaped him. Your imperfections don't disqualify you either. They're part of the story God's telling through you. The enemy will try to make you doubt this. He'll whisper that you're not enough, that God's plan is for someone else. But you've already proven him wrong. You've faced his lies, his traps, and you're still here. John 16:33 says, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. You're not fighting alone. God's plan includes his strength, his victory, his power working through you. Every step you take from here is guided. You might not see the whole path, but God's given you enough light for the next move. Maybe it's a small step, a conversation you need to have, a risk you need to take, a prayer you need to pray. Whatever it is, it's not random. It's part of his plan, leading you to a future where you shine as his chosen. If you're ready to walk this path, to hear God's voice and follow his plan, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm in. God, I'm listening. And if you want to join thousands of chosen ones who are stepping into their purpose, subscribe to this channel. We're not just watching videos, we're building a movement of faith. Keep listening because God's got more to say. You've passed the test. But the reward isn't just a moment of victory. It is a life of purpose. God's plan is to take you from surviving to thriving, from barely making it to overflowing with his blessings. This isn't about wealth or fame, though those might come. It's about living a life so full of his presence that you can't help but impact everyone around you. Think of David, a shepherd boy who faced a giant with nothing but a sling and a stone. The world saw weakness, but God saw a king. Your life might look small to others, but God sees greatness. His plan is to take your ordinary moments and make them extraordinary, to turn your simple faith into a legacy that echoes through generations. You're not just hearing God's plan, you're living it. Every choice you make, every step you take is part of his design. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. You're called, you're chosen, and everything you've been through is being woven into a story of redemption and glory. The world needs you right now, not a perfect version of you, but the real you, the one who's been tested, refined, and chosen. God's plan is to use your life to show others what's possible when you trust him. Your story, your faith, your resilience, it's a light that can guide others out of their own darkness. Step into it, chosen one. God's speaking, and his plan is ready for you to claim. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet pull in your spirit urging you to keep going even when the path wasn't clear. That's God speaking, chosen one. His plan for you isn't a loud announcement or a flashing sign. It's in the moments when you chose to stand firm, to love despite pain, to hope when everything seemed lost. You passed his test by staying true to that inner voice, and now he's ready to show you the next chapter of his design. The world might tell you success is about hustle, about chasing what shines. But God's plan is different. It's about alignment, about walking in step with his purpose. You've already shown you can do this. When life pressed you hard, you didn't crack. When doubt crept in, you didn't surrender. That strength wasn't just yours. It was God working through you, preparing you for a moment like this where his voice becomes clearer than ever. Picture Noah building an ark while the world laughed. He didn't have proof the rain was coming, only God's word. Yet he kept hammering, kept trusting. You're building your own ark right now. Maybe it's a dream, a relationship, a calling. The world might not understand, might even mock you. But God's plan doesn't need their approval. It needs your faith. Keep building. His promise is your blueprint. This isn't about chasing a reward. It's about becoming the person God always saw in you. Every test you passed stripped away what didn't belong. Fear, pride, hesitation. What's left is the real you, the one He created for greatness. Jeremiah 15 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. His plan was written into your soul from the start. Now He's calling you to live it out. You might feel a stirring, a sense that something's shifting. That's God's hand moving in your life. Maybe it's a new idea that won't let go, a conversation that sparked hope, or a sudden peace in the middle of chaos. These aren't random. They're signals, markers of His plan unfolding. You've passed the test of endurance. Now comes the test of awareness. Can you see His fingerprints on your life? Can you hear His voice in the quiet? If this is resonating, if you're feeling God's call right now, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I hear you, God, I'm ready. And if you want to stand with thousands of chosen ones who are answering this call, subscribe to this channel. We're not just watching, we're walking this journey together. Now, let's keep moving because God's message is growing stronger. Sometimes His plan feels like a puzzle. You see pieces, moments of clarity, answered prayers, but the full picture isn't clear. That's okay. God doesn't show you everything at once because He's teaching you trust. Think of Abraham told to leave his home for a land God would show him. No map, no details, just a promise. Yet he went. You're standing at your own crossroads, chosen one. God's asking you to take a step, even if you don't see the destination. That step might feel small. Maybe it's forgiving someone who hurt you, starting a project you've delayed, or simply praying with expectation. But small doesn't mean insignificant. Every move you make in faith is a stone in the foundation of God's plan. You've already proven you can handle the hard stuff. Now He's asking you to trust Him with the simple stuff, the everyday choices that lead to extraordinary outcomes. You're not alone in this. God's plan includes others, people. He's placed in your life to help you, to challenge you, to grow with you. Look around. Who's been there through your trials? Who's shown up when you needed them most? They're not there by accident. God's weaving their stories into yours, creating a tapestry of purpose. His voice speaks through them too, guiding you toward what's next. The enemy will try to drown out that voice. He'll use distractions, busyness, fear, comparison to pull you off course. But you've already faced him and won. You know his tricks. 1 Peter 5:8 says, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, but you're not prey. You're a victor, chosen by God, armed with His truth. His plan is stronger than any lie the enemy throws at you. If you're ready to keep hearing God's voice, to stay locked into His plan, leave a 777 in the comments. It's a bold declaration that you're lean ready to follow where He leads. Stay with me because this message is about to take you deeper into His purpose. God's plan isn't just about you. It's about the ripple effect of your life. Every test you passed wasn't just for you. It was to prepare you to lift others up. You've been through the fire, chosen one, and you came out shining. Now God's calling you to be a light for someone else, to show them what faith looks like in action. His voice is urging you to share your story, your strength, your hope. Think of Ruth, who stayed loyal to Naomi, even when it meant leaving everything familiar. Her faithfulness didn't just change her life, it changed history, placing her in the lineage of Jesus. Your choices matter too. The way you live, the way you trust God's plan. It's a testimony that can shift destinies. Someone's watching you, needing your courage to find their own. God speaking through you to reach them. You might not feel ready for this. You might think, I'm still figuring things out. But God doesn't wait for perfection. He uses you as you are. Scars and all your authenticity, your realness. That's what makes His plan powerful through you. People don't need a polished version of you. They need the you who's been tested, who's heard God's voice in the dark and kept walking. This is a moment to pause and act. If God's voice is stirring you, if you know you're called to shine for others, hit the like button. It's a way to affirm you're ready to be His light. And if you want to join thousands of chosen ones carrying this mission, subscribe to this channel. We're a community of believers ready to change the world. Let's keep going, because God's plan is unfolding fast. Sometimes hearing God's voice means facing your own doubts. You've passed His test, but there's still that whisper in your mind, am I really enough? Let me tell you something. God doesn't choose the qualified, He qualifies the chosen. You're enough because He says you are. His plan isn't built on your resume. It's built on His power working through you. Every doubt you've overcome is proof you're ready for what's next. Look at Gideon hiding in a wine press, thinking he was the least of his people. Yet God called him a mighty warrior. His plan for Gideon wasn't based on what Gideon saw in himself, but on what God saw. You're standing in your own wine press moment. Chosen one. God's calling you mighty. Even if you feel small, His voice is clear. I've got you. Trust me. That trust isn't always easy. Life's taught you to guard your heart, to question what seems too good. But God's plan isn't too good to be true. It's true because it's His. He's asking you to lean into His promises, to believe that the same God who brought you through the test will carry you into the blessing. Your faith is the key that unlocks the next door. You've already seen His faithfulness. Maybe it was a moment when you had no strength left and somehow you found it. Maybe it was a door that opened just when you thought all hope was gone. Those moments are God's signature proof He's been guiding you all along. That He's asking you to keep listening, to keep trusting, because His plan is about to take you places you never imagined. The world will try to pull you back. It'll tempt you to settle, to shrink, to forget who you are. But you're not meant to fit in. You're meant to stand out. God's plan is for you to rise, to walk in a purpose so bold it shakes the ordinary. Philippians 1:6 says, He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. His work in you isn't done, it's just getting started. If you're feeling this truth, if you know God speaking to you right now, drop a 777 in the comments. It's your way of saying, I'm ready, God, I'm listening, stay with me. Because His message is about to go deeper, revealing more of the plan is written for you. God's plan is like a river, steady, powerful, always moving forward. You might not see where it's going, but it's carrying you exactly where you need to be. Every test you passed was a current pushing you closer to your destiny. Now his voice is guiding you to flow with that river, to let go of resistance and trust the direction he said. You're not drifting, you're being led. Think of Paul, shipwrecked, imprisoned, beaten. Yet every hardship moved him closer to spreading God's message. His trials weren't setbacks, they were setups for something greater. Your life is the same. The moments that felt like detours were actually shortcuts designed by God to bring you to this exact point. His plan is precise, intentional, and unstoppable. You might be wondering what to do next. God's voice isn't always a booming command. Sometimes it's a nudge, a feeling you can't shake, a thought that keeps returning. Maybe it's time to start that business, to reach out to someone you've lost touch with, or to pray with a boldness you've never had before. Whatever it is, it's not random. It's God whispering the next step of his plan. You've already shown you can hear him. Every time you chose faith over fear, you were tuning into his voice. Now he's asking you to listen even closer. The tests you passed built your strength. This moment builds your sensitivity. Psalm 32:8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. God's watching, guiding, speaking. Trust him. The enemy will try to drown out that voice with noise, doubt, destruction, despair. But you know better. You faced his lies before and walked away stronger. You're not just a survivor, you're a conqueror, chosen by God to rise above. His plan is your shield, his voice your compass. No matter how loud the world gets, you can hear him. If this is stirring your soul, if you're ready to keep listening to God's plan, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm here, God. I'm all in. And if you want to join thousands of chosen ones walking this path, subscribe to this channel. We're not just a community, we're a force of faith. Let's keep going, because God's message is about to unfold even more. Sometimes God's plan feels like a leap. You see the edge, the unknown, and your heart races. That's normal. It's not fear. It's the thrill of what's coming. You've passed the test of standing firm. Now comes the test of stepping out. God's not asking you to have all the answers. He's asking you to trust that he does. Every leap you take in faith lands you closer to his purpose. Look at Daniel, thrown into a lion's den for his faith. He didn't know how it would end, but he trusted God's plan. And God didn't just save him, he made him a testimony that changed the kingdom. Your leaps, your moments of courage, they're not just for you. They're for everyone watching. Everyone who needs to see what God can do through someone who trusts him. You've got that courage. You've shown it before. When you forgave the unforgivable. When you kept going after a loss. When you believed in a future no one else could see. That's the heart of a chosen one. God's plan is to take that heart and make it a beacon, a light that draws others to him. Your life is a story of his power, and it's only getting better. You might not see the full picture yet. That's okay. God's plan isn't a snapshot. It's a masterpiece, painted stroke by stroke. Every step you take, every prayer you pray adds color to the canvas. You're not just living, you're creating something eternal with him. Trust the process. His voice is guiding every brush stroke. The world will try to pull you back, to make you doubt the leap is worth it. But you've already proven you're stronger than that. You faced the impossible and come through, Romans 15:13 says, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. That's his plan for you. Joy, peace, purpose. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. If you're ready to take that leap to hear God's voice and follow his plan, drop a 777 in the comments. It's a declaration that you're ready to move where he leads. Stay with me, because this message is about to take you even deeper into his purpose. God's plan is personal, but it's also universal. It's about you, but it's also about the world. He's called you to impact. Every test you passed wasn't just to strengthen you, it was to prepare you to carry his light into places that need it most. You're not just a chosen one, you're a vessel, a channel for his love, his truth, his power. His voice is calling you to step into that role. Think of Mary, chosen to carry Jesus. She was young, ordinary, yet God saw her heart and entrusted her with the extraordinary. Your life might feel ordinary sometimes, but God sees something else. He sees a heart ready to carry his message, to birth something new in a world that's hurting. His plan is to use you to bring hope where there's despair, light where there's darkness. You don't need to be loud to make a difference. Sometimes it's the quiet moments. Your kindness to a stranger, your prayer for someone in pain, your choice to keep going that speak the loudest. God's voice is in those moments, guiding you to act, to love, to shine. His plan is for your life to be a living sermon, a testimony that changes hearts. You've already started this work, even if you don't see it. Every time you chose faith, you were planting seeds. Every time you trusted God's voice, you were building something eternal. Now he's asking you to keep planting, keep building. His plan is bigger than your life. It's about the legacy you leave, the lives you touch, the light you spread. The enemy will try to make you feel small, like your actions don't matter. But you know better. You've seen God move in your life, turning impossible situations into miracles. His plan is to keep doing that, not just for you, but through you. 2 Corinthians 4:7 says, we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God. You're his vessel, chosen one. His power shines through you. If this is speaking to you, if you're ready to carry God's light, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm ready to shine for you, God. And if you want to join thousands of chosen ones living this calling, subscribe to this channel. We're not just believers, we're doers, ready to change the world. Keep listening, because God's plan is about to unfold even more. Sometimes God's plan feels like a whisper in a storm. Life gets loud. Bills, responsibilities, fears, and his voice can seem faint. But you've learned to hear it. You've passed the test of finding him in the chaos, of trusting him when the world screamed to give up. Now he's asking you to keep listening, to tune out the noise and focus on his truth. His plan is your anchor, steadying you no matter how wild the storm gets. Think of Elijah hiding in a cave, running from danger. God's voice didn't come in the wind or the fire. It came in a still, small voice. Your life might feel like a cave sometimes, full of uncertainty or fear. But God speaking, chosen one, he's in the quiet moments, the sudden peace, the clarity that cuts through the noise. His plan is to guide you out of the cave and into your purpose. You've got a history with God. You've seen him show up. Maybe not how you expected, but always when you needed him most. That's his signature, his promise that he's with you. Now, his plan is to take that history and build on it, to turn your past victories into a foundation for future triumphs. You're not starting over. You're building on what is already done. The world will try to drown out his voice with distractions. It'll tempt you to focus on what's urgent instead of what's eternal. But you're different. You've passed the test of priorities, choosing faith over frenzy. Now God's asking you to keep choosing Him, to let His plan guide your decisions. Every choice you make in faith is a step toward His promise. If you're feeling His voice, if you know He's speaking to you right now, drop 777 in the comments. It's a way to say, I hear you, God. I'm ready. Stay with me, because His message is about to take you deeper into His plan. God's plan is like a seed planted in your heart. It started small, maybe a moment of hope, a prayer answered, a dream that wouldn't die, but it's growing. Chosen one. Every test you passed was water and sunlight, helping that seed take root. Now it's breaking through the soil, ready to bloom into something the world can ignore. His voice is urging you to nurture it, to trust the growth He started. Look at Hannah praying for a child. When all hope seemed lost, her faith didn't just give her Samuel, it changed a nation. Your prayers, your faith, they're not just for you. Therefore, everyone who will be touched by what God does through you. His plan is to take your small seed of faith and grow it into a tree that offers shade to others. You might feel like the growth is slow. That's okay. God's plan doesn't rush. It's steady, deliberate, perfect. Every moment of waiting is a moment of preparation. He's strengthening your roots, deepening your faith. So when the time comes, you'll stand tall, unshaken. His voice is in the waiting, whispering, keep trusting, I'm working. You've already seen glimpses of this growth. Maybe it's a new confidence, a clarity you didn't have before, or a door that opened unexpectedly. Those are signs of God's plan taking shape. Your job is to keep listening, to keep tending the seed He's planted. Every prayer, every act of faith is a step toward the harvest He's promised. The enemy will try to uproot that seed. He'll send doubt, discouragement, delay. But you're stronger than that. You've passed the test of holding fast, of clinging to God's truth when everything else felt shaky. Now, His plan is to make that seed grow into something unstoppable. Isaiah 40:31 says, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. That's you, chosen one. Renewed, ready, rising. If this is stirring your heart, if you're ready to see God's plan bloom, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm ready for your harvest, God. We're growing together, rooted in His purpose. Let's keep going, because God's message is about to unfold even more. God's plan for you is like a fire, chosen one, burning away what no longer serves you and igniting a passion for what's to come. You've passed His test, standing firm through trials that would have dimmed a lesser light. Now His voice is fanning that flame, calling you to step into a purpose that warms the world around you. This isn't about fleeting sparks. It's about a blaze that transforms everything it touches. You've known moments of heat, haven't you? Times when life felt like a furnace testing your resolve. But you didn't crumble. You emerged refined, stronger, brighter. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego walking through fire without a single burn. The flames didn't consume them, they revealed God's presence. Your trials have done the same, showing the world that God's with you, guiding you toward His plan. That plan isn't vague, it's specific, tailored to the unique shape of your soul. God's voice is in the desires you can't shake, the ones that keep you up at night, the ones that feel too big to hold. Maybe it's a vision to create, to heal, to lead. Whatever it is, it's not a fantasy. It's a calling etched into your being. His plan is for you to embrace it, to let that fire burn bright without fear. You might wonder how to start. The answer is simple. Move. Take one step toward that vision, even if it's small. God's voice doesn't always give a full map. It gives direction. One step leads to another, and soon you'll see His plan unfolding like a path through the wilderness. You've already proven you can walk through hard places. Now He's asking you to walk toward promise. The world will try to douse your fire. It'll throw water in the form of doubt, criticism, or distraction. But you're not ordinary. You're chosen, tested, and proven. Daniel 3:27 says, the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair of their head singed. That's you, chosen one, untouched by the flames, ready to shine. God's plan is your protection, His voice your fuel. If this is setting your heart ablaze, if you're ready to let God's plan burn bright, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm ready to shine, God. And if you want to join thousands of chosen ones carrying this fire, subscribe to this channel. We're not just sparks, we're a wildfire of faith. Keep listening, because God's message is about to blaze even brighter. Sometimes God's plan feels like a song, one only you can hear. It's a melody woven through your life, rising in moments of joy and lingering in moments of pain. You've passed His test by keeping your ear tuned to that song, even when the world tried to drown it out with noise. Now His voice is calling you to sing it boldly, to let your life be a harmony that draws others to Him. Think of Miriam dancing and singing after the Red Sea parted. Her song wasn't just celebration, it was a declaration of God's power. Your life is your song, chosen one. Every trial you face, every victory you've claimed, it's a note in the melody God's writing through you. His plan is for you to share it, to let your voice ring out, whether through words, actions, or the way you live. You don't need to be a poet or a preacher to sing this song. And the way you show up, kind when others are cruel, steady when others falter, hopeful when others despair. God's voice is guiding you to live in a way that makes people stop and listen. Your life is a melody of faith, and His plan is for it to echo far beyond what you can see. The enemy will try to silence you. He'll whisper that your song doesn't matter, that no one's listening. But you've already proven him wrong. Thoughts like music flow from the heart, and love you've kept singing through the storms, through the doubts. Exodus 15:2 says, the Lord's my strength and my song. He has become my salvation. That's your truth, chosen one. God's plan is your strength, His voice your melody. You might not know all the lyrics yet. That's okay. God's teaching you note by note. Every step you take in faith adds to the song. Maybe it's a kind word you speak, a risk you take, a prayer you pray. Each one builds the harmony, making it richer, stronger. His plan is for your life to be a symphony of purpose, one that others can't help but hear. If this is resonating, if you're ready to let your song ring out, drop a 777 in the comments. It's a way to say, I'm singing your song, God, stay with me, because His message is about to weave an even deeper melody. God's plan is like a riverbed carved through years of steady flow. Your trials were the waters cutting deep, shaping you into someone who can hold His blessings. You've passed His test by staying open. letting the current of His will guide you. Now His voice is calling you to receive what's coming, an overflow of grace, purpose, and abundance that will fill every part of your life. Think of the woman at the well, broken by her past, yet chosen by Jesus for a conversation that changed everything. Her emptiness became a vessel for His truth. You're that vessel, chosen one. Your struggles didn't disqualify you. They prepare you to carry something greater. God's plan is to fill you until you overflow, touching everyone around you with His love. You might feel like your riverbed is still dry, like the blessings are far off, but God's voice is clear, the water's coming. Every test you pass deepened your capacity to hold what He's pouring out. It might start as a trickle, a new opportunity, a moment of clarity, a connection that feels divinely timed, but soon it'll be a flood, overwhelming in its goodness. Your job is to stay open. Don't let doubt or fear block the flow. You've already shown you can handle the hard stuff, betrayal, loss, uncertainty. Now God's asking you to trust Him with the good stuff, to believe His plan includes joy, peace, and purpose beyond what you've imagined. John 4:14 says, "The water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." That's His promise for you. The world will try to dam up your river, throwing obstacles like worry or comparison. But you're stronger than that. You've passed the test of resilience, keeping your heart open when it would have been easier to close it. God's plan is to keep that river flowing, carrying you to places of impact, healing, and joy. If you're ready to receive this overflow, if you hear God's voice calling you to His plan, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm open, God, fill me. We're not just vessels, we're a river of faith. Let's keep moving, because God's message is about to pour out even more. God's plan is like a tapestry woven with threads of your choices, your faith, your pain. Every test you passed was a stitch binding you closer to His purpose. Now His voice is guiding you to see the pattern, to understand that nothing in your life has been wasted. Every moment, good or bad, is part of a design that's leading you to something beautiful. Think of Joseph's coat, a symbol of favor that sparks jealousy and pain. Yet every hardship, betrayal, slavery, prison became a thread in a story of redemption. Your life is that coat, chosen one. The tears, the stains, they're part of the masterpiece God's creating. His plan is to show the world what He can do with a life surrendered to Him. You might not see the full picture yet. Some threads look out of place, messy, painful. But God's voice is whispering, trust the weaver. He's pulling every moment together, turning your struggles into a story of triumph. Your job is to keep saying yes to His guidance, His timing, His vision. Each yes adds a new thread, making the tapestry richer. The enemy will try to unravel it. He'll point to the loose ends, the knots, and tell you it's a mess. But you know better. You've passed the test of seeing God's hand in the chaos. Genesis 50:20 says, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. That's your truth. His plan is to take what was meant to break you and make it your greatest strength. You're already seeing glimpses of this tapestry. Moments when things fall into place, when pain turns to purpose. Maybe it's a relationship restored, a dream rekindled, or a peace you can't explain. Those are God's stitches, proof His plan is at work. Keep trusting, keep following His voice. The masterpiece is still unfolding. If this is speaking to your heart, if you're ready to see God's tapestry take shape, drop a 777 in the comments. It's a way to say, I trust you, God. Keep weaving, stay with me, because His message is about to reveal more of His design. God's plan is like a seed scattered, on fertile ground. You've passed His test by preparing the soil of your heart, clearing out bitterness, doubt, and fear. Now His voice is calling you to sow boldly, to plant seeds of faith, love, and action that will grow into a harvest beyond your wildest dreams. This isn't just about you. It's about the fields you're destined to cultivate. Think of the parable of the sower. Some seeds fell on rocky ground, others among thorns. But yours landed on good soil because you chose to keep your heart open. Every trial you faced was a plow turning the ground, making it ready for God's promises. His plan is for you to scatter seeds that will grow into blessings for you, for others, for generations. You might feel like your seeds are small. A kind word, a step of faith, a prayer in the dark. But God's voice is clear. No seed is too small. Each one you plant carries His power, His potential. You're not just sowing for today, you're sowing for a future where your life becomes a field of abundance, feeding those who come after you. The enemy will try to steal your seeds. He'll send discouragement telling you your efforts don't matter, but you've already proven you're a good steward. You've passed the test of faithfulness, holding on to hope when it seemed pointless. Matthew 13:8 says, other seeds fell on good soil and produced a crop 60 or 30 times what was sown. That's God's plan for you, a multiplied harvest. You're already planting. Every time you choose forgiveness, every time you act in faith, you're sowing. God's voice is guiding you to keep going, to trust that every seed will bear fruit. The harvest is coming, chosen one, not just for you, but for everyone your life touches. Keep sowing. His plan is growing. If you're ready to plant these seeds, if you hear God's voice calling you to His plan, hit the like button. It's a way to say, I'm sowing God, I'm ready. And if you want to join thousands of chosen ones cultivating His harvest, subscribe to this channel. We're not just planters, we're a field of faith. Let's keep going because God's message is about to yield more. God's plan is like a lighthouse, chosen one, standing steady through the fiercest storms, guiding you to safe shores. You've passed His test by keeping your eyes on that light, even when waves of doubt and fear crashed around you. Now His voice is calling you to trust that beacon, to follow its glow toward a destiny that's been waiting for you all along. This isn't about escaping the storm, it's about navigating through it with His guidance. You've known darkness, moments when the world felt heavy, when hope seemed like a distant flicker, but you kept looking up, didn't you? You found that light even when it was faint. Think of Peter stepping out onto the water, eyes fixed on Jesus. The waves roared, but he walked because he trusted the one calling him. Your life is that water walking moment, chosen one. God's plan is leading you across the impossible. That light isn't just for you, it's for others too. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $120, 0 cents. I pay men to get blessing 100 million.